September of 2021, the very first victim of an unknown murderer fell. The dead body of Finley Brown was found on the crime scene, along with a banana peel. Other than that, little was known. Not even the CCTV footage showed anything compelling. A string of attacks against more students followed, and dissent was growing in the community.
Well, I mean, there have been so many murders, not misdemeanors, murders. So of course I don't feel safe sending my kids there.
The mystery remains. Who was the killer? I'm down here on the ground, just by the crime scene, and what I've heard and seen so far has been very disturbing. To make matters worse, the progress of authorities in the pursuit of finding the identity of the killer has been rather poor. So I'm going to take it upon myself to find out my own answers. But one thing's for sure, the murderer sure has a lot of blood on their hands.
The name's out. Detective Lookout.
Look out, where?
No, that's just my name.
Oh, right. So, tell me about this Pigeon murderer case. What can you recount so far?
I'm not a mathematician. I'm a detective.
Right. Well, can you illustrate to me what the situation is?
Illustrate? I'm not an artist. I'm a detective.
Well, what's happened?
These bodies keep coming up. There have been 5 of them now, mostly in the economically poor neighborhood of J Block. But one of them was outside the school walking home. We don't exactly know who, and we don't exactly know why. All we know is that the murderer must really like pigeons.
Who on earth likes pigeons that much?
I suspect it must be somebody hidden in plain sight.
I really struggled to think of who liked pigeons that much. So I set off to find a policeman, to find further clues. I'm Samvu Willing, investigative journalist. Samvu Willing, investigative investigator. Say, you look familiar. What makes you say that? Perhaps it's all a coincidence. So, what have you been doing as an investigator lately? I've been investigating. What else do you do as an investigator? What progress have you made on the Pigeon murderer case? That's a good one. I have a sketch of a possible suspect. Say, he does look familiar. Quite handsome, wouldn't you say? It was just after school when I got permission to investigate another killing, this time fresh. Perhaps it was here that I would find the ultimate clue. So, Stanley, I hear you were attacked by the murderer. Were you or were you not attacked? Do you talk? Gee, dead people are so useless. Oh my goodness. Hey, that's my knife that I lost a few days ago. That is not my knife. And that was not me.
Yeah, I was walking through Musgrave one day and I heard Stanley screaming, so I went to investigate and he was dead.
Did you see the murderer's face?
No, I didn't.
Good. I mean, how unfortunate.
I did see his shirt though. It was black. It had 2 pigeons on it.
Oh, that sounds really quite strange. The trail was running cold, and everywhere and everyone I investigated or talked to led me to a dead end. I was starting to give up hope that I'd ever solve this case, But then I realized I can just pay somebody else to figure it out for me. Hi, is this the forensic scientist? Great, can you do a DNA analysis on this pigeon mask which I found? Where'd I find it? Oh, it was just in my house. I mean, the murderer's house. I mean, I found it somewhere. You'll send an agent to the house when you figure out who it is? Oh, great. Can't wait to find out who it is. And so it ends. After all the attacks, after all the trauma, after all the investigation, after all the drama, after all the stabbings, after all the controversy, after all the pigeon-related killings, we're finally gonna find out who the pigeon murderer was. And it was none other than Wardy. Until next time, I'm Samvu Willing, definitely not the pigeon murderer.